If you've ever Googled how to buy a house and you were completely overwhelmed by what the process looked like, you're not alone. This video is going to be exactly for you, and we're going to go step by step on the home buying process so that you, by the end of this video, will know exactly what to do. I'm going to get this out of the way. I'm in my gym clothes. I had to come straight to the office from the gym, so forgive me if I am not dressed the part. We're gonna be a little casual today. I know looking at houses on Zillow is very exciting, but you might set yourself up for disappointment. So what you'll wanna do first is figure out the numbers, the real numbers. So these two steps are gonna be hand in hand. You wanna talk to a lender first. I know most people go and speak to a realtor up front, but they're gonna turn you back to a lender. So if you can find a good lender in your area, or you can reach out to me. I'm based in Southern Arizona. I lend all over Arizona, but I also have people that I trust in almost every state. So you'll wanna talk to a lender first, figure out your real numbers, and then you can move on to the next step. Going hand in hand with speaking to a lender and seeing your numbers and seeing how much you need to have saved, what your debt to income ratio looks like, you'll want to get pre-approved, not pre-qualified, pre-approved. There's a big difference. So what you'll want to do is go through underwriting, and a good lender will have you do this, which is why I said you can reach out to me, because we will get you pre-approved up front. But what that means is you submit your documents so that an underwriter can get in front of your file, not just the loan officer. Sellers take pre-approved buyers seriously. Now, depending on the state you're in, pre-qualifications work very similar, but if you can tell a seller that you're pre-approved with an underwriter, that'll give you much more leverage when putting offers in on homes. So get pre-approved early. After talking to a lender, the fun part really starts. You can find a real estate agent and start looking at homes. Now, most lenders have a ton of agents that they work with, so they can always refer you to one. Personally, I work with a bunch of really good agents, so I'm always happy to refer out as well. But interview a few. See which one is going to be best fit to your personality type. Typically, when I refer out agents, I want to make sure that they match well with your personality and that you guys get along, because you're going to be working with them for a while, and you want to make sure that the process is comfortable and you work well with this person. So make sure that the agent you work with meshes well with your personality, but they are also very experienced, because the last thing you want to do is work with an agent that doesn't know how to negotiate, and then you can lose out on a lot of money. The most important part about having a real estate agent on your side is that they work in your interest. So if you go out and hit up the listing agent and you want to see the home, they're working in the best interest of the seller. So make sure you find a real estate agent that works for you, and they will make sure they negotiate well on your behalf. And when you're searching for your home, make sure that you find a few non-negotiables for you, mainly area, size of the house, comfortable monthly payment, which you'll figure out with your lender, but you're not always going to find every single box checked. So make sure you have your non-negotiables and then the nice things. And I forgot to add in, most of the time, you're not paying for your buyer's agent. There was some ruling that was changed last year, but a lot of the time, kind of the industry norm, if you will, is that the buyer's agent's fees are negotiated to be paid by the seller. But with those change in rulings, everything's negotiable. So you want to make sure that you set the standard with your agent, like, hey, let's make sure we request that the seller pays for the buyer's agent's fees. And again, this is happening most of the time still. All right, here's where it gets real. Putting in an offer. Now, there is definitely a difference between a strong offer and a weak offer. And this is something your buyer's agent will help you put together. They should also be working with your lender. So part of the first couple steps is that you got pre-approved with your underwriter. That helps you put a strong offer in. Now, right now we're in a buyer's market, at least in my area in Southern Arizona. So a strong offer may look different than it did a couple of years ago. So with you as the buyer, you want to make sure that you talk with your agent like, hey, we need closing costs covered, or the lender will let you know that closing costs need to be covered. You guys will figure out your budget, but your agent will help you decide on price, contingencies, timelines. There's a lot of things that are pretty standard in the industry, but again, everything is negotiable. Almost every time the contingencies include an appraisal contingency, an inspection contingency, and a financing contingency. And sometimes if you're selling a home and you're buying a home, there is a contingency for that as well. Make sure you're protecting yourself. And if you're working with a good agent, they'll make sure they're protecting you. Something to note is that closing costs can go from 2.5% up to 5% of the purchase price of the home. Most of the time, they're about 2.5% to 3%, but it can vary based on your purchase price and the area, if there's an HOA. But let's say you're buying a $300,000 house, your closing costs will typically be about $9,000. Here's what you want to do. You're in a buyer's market. You can ask for seller concessions. Those can cover your closing costs. If we're in a seller's market, you might need to have a little bit more money in the bank. Let me help make this real for you guys. Last week, we closed a transaction here in Southern Arizona with a buyer. Let's call him Fred. My buddy Fred was a first-time home buyer, and we went with an FHA home loan. He did the right things. He spoke with me first, we got him pre-approved, and he was well on his way to making an offer. And he actually got a really good deal. But they negotiated things like timelines, inspection periods, they got seller concessions, so they got all of their closing costs covered. The moral of the story is that if you do things in the right order, it makes things easier and the process goes smoother for you. The biggest thing is you want to have the right team behind you. You want to have a really good lender who will make sure that they get ahead of all of the things in your finances that may pop up. Have a really good agent who will negotiate very well on your behalf, and when inspections come around, can help negotiate repairs. So that's kind of the long and short of the full process. It gives you an idea of what to expect when purchasing a house. Now, the process is going to be unique to most people because you could have a different timeline, you could have a lease. So you'll want to work with professionals to help nail down that timeline and nail down the process. Something I do with every buyer that I work with is we talk about a few things in our buyer consultation when we originally meet. One of those things is the process. And depending on what your scenario looks like, we'll kind of tailor it to what your situation looks like. I know it can seem like a lot, and it is. You're making the biggest investment of your life. So whether you're a week away, 3 months away, or 3 years away, it's good to talk to a lender early. If you're anywhere in the process of thinking you might want to buy a house, or you're ready to buy a house, give me a call. The worst that can happen is your timeline extends a little bit. So we want to make sure that you are very well prepared. So call me early. Let's get you ready. Let's put you in the best position possible because I want you to have a good time. I want you to have a smooth process. Here's what I want you to do. If you're anywhere in the process of wanting to buy a home, drop a comment down below with the word START. I will reach out to you and we'll get you set up, we'll get you through the process, and we'll get you ready to buy a house. I'm in Arizona. I will get you through the process in Arizona. If you're not in Arizona, I will get you with somebody that's really, really good and will help you get through the process where you're at. All of this is free to my clients. I am not going to charge you for meeting with me. I'm not going to charge you to pull your credit. You don't start paying for anything until you're under contract. So, free consultation, why not? Give me a shout. If you enjoyed this video and you made it to the end, hit me with a subscribe. Give me a thumbs up. I want to help this channel grow, and I want to help more people attain home ownership. Free advertising for Pillar to Post. Thank you, Chad Casper. Thanks so much, guys. My name is Dalton Lafreniere. I am really excited to connect with you if you're interested in buying a home. I'll see you guys on the next one.